going on, everybody? Welcome to Stone's Live Poker. I'm Chris Glasgow, also known as Master C707.
I'm Vanessa Cade. How's it going?
This game is just packed full of just amazing action. You go seat 1 action, seat 2 action, seat 3 action, seat 4 action, seat 5, yep action, and so on down the list. We just always have amazing games, but this is an amazing-erist game, if that's a real word.
The cash games here in general are absolutely sick. If you haven't checked out Stones, you definitely should. The stream games are especially sick, as we're about to find out here. If you haven't caught a previous stream, you are in for a treat.
So, I mean, we do have a couple special guests on the table. We have Chris Moneymaker.
Yesterday he had actually a pretty okay day, yeah.
Okay, good. In a small 1-3 game.
Yeah, a small 1-3 game. Where the top stacks were definitely over 5K.
Yeah, and then we also have Jaman Burton, who's in town on the table.
Previously on YouTube's The Drawing Dead.
It's unbelievable the hands that Mike hits. Like, it's so absolutely incredible.
Back at it again in Sacramento, playing on the Stones live stream, a 5-5 no limit game with quite the lineup. We have most of the Stones regulars in the house, most of the Stones regulars in this game, and I have Chris Moneymaker on my left. This could get interesting. So let's hope I run well. Let's hope I run just a tad bit better than last night. So the goal today is to play well and run average. No coolers. Setting lofty goals. So we're going to jump right into this 5-5 game at Stones that we were playing with a mandatory $10 straddle. I originally bought in the game for $1,500, and at this point, we've been playing about 30 minutes or so before the stream footage kicks in, and I was down about $300. Note that the dollar amounts on the heads-up display are sometimes a bit off. Either way, that first 30 minutes for everyone was sort of a feeling out period, where everyone sort of spends time getting impressions of all the combatants. During this period, the table was playing pretty limp-happy. In this quick hand, we see AC limp under the gun, Brian limp in middle position, and Naga limp in the hijack. I'm in the big blind with a pretty marginal hand but getting a really good price and choose to limp as well. Moneymaker in the straddle is having none of this nonsense, and he raises it up, as he should with Ace King of Diamonds, to $70. Naga and Brian both call, and I see this as my cue to escape, head to my bag, and add more money onto my stack. I have a feeling that now that the stream is live, action is going to start to pick up, and I want to be deeper for it. Although I'm not in this hand, we see Chris fire a $100 continuation bet at the 7-high flop with 1 diamond and get called by both remaining players. The 6 on the turn puts a one-liner to a straight on board, and Chris checks this card, which normally means he's pretty likely giving up. Brian now takes the lead and bets $265, which Naga calls. Naga is typically one of the looser and more aggressive players in this game. Chris folds. The river pairs the 3, which shouldn't bother Brian too much, and he bets $420, which might be a lifestyle tell, but that's legal in Cali. Naga doesn't take too long with it before giving up his missed overcard and straight draw.
You want to warm up?
I don't need no warm up. Get my stuff.
This session, much like the session before it, you get to see me sitting there and folding crap hand after crap hand and folding $50 bomb pots time and time again. When I finally look down at something semi-playable in position, pocket deuces. 3 limps to me in the cutoff, and there's really no reason to get crazy here, so I limp as well. AC, however, in the 1 seat and also the big blind, wakes up with pocket 10s and makes it $85 to go. Naga comes along with 7-5 offsuit because, well, he's Naga, And with the effect the stacks around $1,500, I come along too. 3 players see this flop. Queen 6 deuce with 2 hearts. Bottom set for your boy. Apparently my set practice at home is paying off. Although he was the original raiser, AC chooses to check this flop and Naga fires $185. Knowing that AC isn't one to let go of hands right away, but thinking him not too strong since he raised and then checked, I want to keep him hanging around. I also want to keep Naga firing away. So I choose just to call. AC comes along, and we are still 3 ways headed to the turn. The turn 8 of clubs doesn't really change much, and I'm actually a little bit surprised that it gets checked to me so quickly. I bet $400 into around $850, looking to keep queens around. AC tanks for a full minute before letting it go, but Naga, he quickly calls behind. My read on Naga is that he either has a really weak queen or some really strange draw. Jack of hearts on the river? Not my favorite card. Not only does the heart draw come in, but that card even completes a backdoor draw like 10-9 suited. Naga jumps right in and bets enough to cover me. I've seen Naga play numerous times. I know that he is more than capable of doing this with nothing. There's over $2,500 in the pot and I have to call off about $800 to win it. So I really only need to be right here once every 4 or so times. Couple that with the fact that I'd much rather go home broke than curious. I make the call. And see the good news.
Oh, interesting. So Naga misses the straight draw.
Yep, and Jaman's like, okay, I call.
Yep.
Kill that, right? Yeah, kill that, right, little dude?
That's not that easy of a call when the flush hits there on the river. So nice double up there for Jaman. Nice, it looks like 3.2k pot there for Jaman.
After another short period of inactiveness, I look down at Queen Jack offsuit on the button. A decent hand with good post-flop playability with my position and 3 limpers in front of me, and I decide to bump it up to $65. Chris Moneymaker, on my left, makes the call from the small blind, as does the original limper, and the action returns to Lucky Nat. Nat is definitely an action guy, and he does not fail to disappoint when he sniffs out an obvious squeeze spot. He makes it $400 to go. Eli, to my right, quickly folds, and now I'm stuck, with a marginal hand and 2 callers behind me. Nice play, Nat. Nice play.
One step at a time, one punch at a time, one round at a time.
A few orbits later, I look down at a really tricky type of hand to play in early position in these action-packed games. A smallish pocket pair. Decent arguments can be made for just open folding a hand like this, but I'm really not in the mood for that, nor am I in the mood for limping, so that leaves one option. Raise. I opened at $40 and it folds around to Brian in the 3 seat, who is also in the cutoff. He 3-bets to $140, which Nat cold calls in the small blind. Although I'm not quite as deep as I'd like to be with the 3-better when set mining, I didn't fly all the way to Sacramento to fold pocket pairs, especially after I did all that set practice at home. I make the call, and all 3 of us trot along to the flop. Bottom set again! I think I figured out how to win poker. You just need to flop sets. The configuration of this board is much different than the Queen 6 deuce board from earlier. 10-7-6 with 2 diamonds is extremely wet, and when the small blind checks it to me, I need to start building a pot and protecting equity right now. Best case scenario is that Brian holds an overpair and that the board connects with Nat in some way. That's really the only way I'm going to be able to build a big pot here. All that being said, I bet $250 directly into the pre-flop 3-better, which I'm hoping will look sort of fishy. Unfortunately, Neither of them had much of anything, and my dreams to scoop another big pot are quickly dashed. I got a ton of messages about this hand and what was going on here. So let's talk about it. First, the action. There's one limp in front of me in the hijack, and I look down at, well, they're suited. And I make it $60. Moneymaker, to my left, flats my raise. He was flatting all my opens. Far too many for him to have a hand every time. That's the first thing going through my head. So keep that in mind. Action folds all the way back around to Eli, and he calls as well. So 3 of us to the flop. The first thing I see, boom, 3 in the window. That's a good sign. The queen and the jack, who cares about them? I flopped a pair. Do you know how hard it is to do that? Anyway, action is checked to Moneymaker, who I expect to be betting here damn near 100% of the time, even though this flop should be hitting my range super hard, not his. He does bet, and it's tiny. $75, which is a smidge over 1/3 the pot, into 2 people? That's not a sizing I would expect a king or a queen to ever bet. That's something a flush draw, however, may do. Eli folds, and I make this call rather easily. The turned 4 of spades is interesting because it puts 2 flush draws and 2 straight draws on the board. I check it over to him again, thinking that if he is bluffing, I'm going to continue letting him bluff. This time, and I don't expect this to be discerned through video, I don't know, I just picked up something on him that gave me the feeling that he was unsure. He wasn't in love with it. My read was just a tad bit off apparently. He bets $200 and I snap call. The 7 of clubs on the river does bring in one of the straights, but that's about it. All the flushes miss, and I check it to him once more to let him bluff at it. This time he bets $350, and if you know me, then you know I'd rather be broke than curious, so I quickly look him up and, yeah. Bad read, Jaman.
So Moneymaker bets out $350, Jaman calls. Again, when the front door flush misses, people are going to call super light, so when you're betting for value, you want to size up. Eli has pocket sixes and limps in. Brian wakes up on the button after winning a massive pot with ace king, raises it up to 60. Naga calls. Oof. And wow, Lucky wakes up with aces. We are going to see a damn big pot, I think.
Yeah, there are going to be some fireworks here for sure. Both these players have been very aggressive so far.
This is scary.
See, aces 3-bet to $365. Pocket sixes gets out of the way.
And is Brian going for the 4-bet? Oh god, here's a 4-bet.
Wow.
And Naga's like, yeah, not gonna call that. And how do you like this if you're if you're lucky? Like, do you 5-bet here? You just rip it, get it in?
I mean, I probably flat. Actually, you know what? He's only got like another like 1 point or 2K
like
behind
2,
basically.
3, 4. He's like 4K.
So yeah, you could reasonably ship that for sure. Yeah, it looks like he does. Yeah, once it's been 4-bet up to 1.4K, he's not going anywhere for the extra 2.
We have about an 8K pot. Because Brian had 4.3K, and I believe Nat, I just counted, you know, a little over 4K. Like this, I think the stacks are a little bit off. We should have an 8K pot here.
Insane. That's crazy. I don't think anybody from chat even guessed even close to that high. Or I think some of you were guessing high at 7,000.
Right.
There
Ace
is
comes,
the case ace.
Yeah, burning one. Well, not really. Brian's out. But does help. I don't know what I'm talking about.
We got he needs a 10 there on that last board in order to win that one. Does not find it.
And Nat holds.
Aces are going to win both boards for
Wow.
a ridiculous, we think it's about an 8K pot there. Wow.
He just got done counting those chips.
That's
or
what
stacking
happens.
Those chips.
Oh, Stones Light Poker in chat says 8.7K pot.
Good
which is
God.
absolutely insane. That's like a and they'll chop it.
Yeah, let me make it.
Some logistical changes in this hand. Brian, previously in the 3 seat, has moved to the 1 seat, and AC has left the game. The 3 seat is now occupied by Robert, a Stones regular, a super nice guy, and a stone cold killer. He's new to the table, and in the hand previous to this one, he just lost a $5,000 pot. For this hand, we are playing 5-5-35 as Brian has put on a $35 straddle under the gun. Robert then raises it up to $105, which Naga calls. Folded around to me in the worst position at the table, the small blind, and I look down at ace-queen offsuit and decide just to call. When the action returns to the straddle, he elects to move all in for $850 total. Robert doesn't take too long with it before he jams the entire $3,000 he brought to the table into the middle. Did I mention he had just lost a gigantic pot? Oh yeah, Robert's not scared. Naga folds and I give ace-queen one more wanting look before tossing them into the middle. So of course the board is... Of course it is. The two players did elect to run the full board twice in this instance and ended up chopping the pot as Brian flops a boat during the second run.
Brian wins the second one, flopping a boat. Yeah, I think Jaman, he was drinking, so he might have drinking a little bit more.
It's been one of the first times he's actually gotten a pretty nice hand to play and have to fold it there. It's pretty rough.
I haven't had many hands. This is an interesting hand here.
Why don't you talk us through this one?
This was a bomb pot, right? And I flopped top pair when checked around. I picked up a diamond draw. I bet 125 or something on turn. I bet 300 on the river, and Nat misread his hand. He didn't know he had two pair.
Oh my god.
For some reason, he just thought he hit a 5, and he mucks. He shows me his hand, and then he just mucks it. And
Oh, so you end up... Wait, you end up winning.
Yeah,
then.
I end up winning. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Like, he didn't realize he had two pair.
You hit the river.
What do you got?
What do I have? Two pair. You had him beat.
You have him beat?
Would
No way.
no at king
You
five
can't have him beat.
at king five of diamonds.
I got the beat.
Did you know you made two pair on the river?
Oh, the river? Did I? Yeah.
Yeah, you do. You
What-
made
You know, it's fine.
Can you fold it?
I don't like this new that.
Nat, my man. Just a few hands after that $2,000 Robert vs. Brian affair, this hand happens. We are still playing 5-5-10 and Naga has decided to limp under the gun. Eli calls from the hijack and I raise it up to $65 with pocket tens. Robert calls from the straddle and the two limpers call as well. You know what? I'll let Vanessa and Chris take it from here, but keep in mind that the displayed stack sizes are a bit off. I think I started the hand with about $2,400 or so.
We have pocket tens, pocket fives, 7-2 suited, of course, and king jack all in here. Looks like tens raises to 65. That's Jaman right there. Everybody else calls. 4 players to the flop.
Wow.
Ooh, maybe this is the hand he was just alluding to when he hopped in here. Both fives and tens flop set. And in fact, sevens hit second pair, and king jack is not looking too horrible on a completely dry board, though they don't really have a piece of anything yet. 7-2 middle pair does lead out here, and it looks like a call from Jaman.
I know he makes it 300, so basically clicks it back.
Oh, he does raise.
And Robert cold calls.
You know, it'd be interesting. I mean, if Robert actually thinks he has the best hand there, being aggressive in this spot would be an interesting move.
Yeah.
Considering we've seen him basically get, what was it, like 2K in with King Queen offsuit just a few hands ago, and like he's been very, very aggressive so far.
If I was Jaman, as soon as Robert cold calls my 3-bet, where I'm clearly trying to just build a pot against a pretty action player, who likes to call, I would be like, oh, we're getting stacks in.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just saying you have a monster so often.
In this case, actually, even though if they were way deeper, because he's been so aggressive in spots where he hasn't had much so far, I'd normally like to see Robert be extra aggressive. These stacks are not actually that deep relative to the pot that he needs to do that even here. Jaman's only got, according to the board here, 1K behind, which is really easy to get in 2 more streets when the pot's already at 1K.
Yeah. Now, so the stacks are off because we see that he has about 1.5
Looks
left
like a bit more than that, yeah.
after this bet. So Robert calls with about 2,000 behind. 6 of spades, completes backdoor flush draw, and
there's really not much else here. 8-9 gets there. That's
maybe if it was
pretty
8-9 of
much
spades, kind of thing, it might continue this way, but not a whole lot of 8-9.
Even 8-9 doesn't want to get a lot of money here on the turn, except for 8-9 of spades, because that queen just puts you in an awkward spot a little bit there.
And Robert ships all in.
Call. 37?
Jaman snap calls. He's like, oh,
yeah. I think the pot size is not quite correct there as well. I think it's over 4K here for Jaman.
Yeah, really big pot.
He didn't get too much going yesterday either. He just didn't have any good spots or good hands where he could do much. So it's good to see him pick up a pot here. Though Robert's had a rough run so far.
The reason that bad things happen to you is because you're a dumbass.
Unfortunately, I don't know how many chips I have in front of me. I know I'm up. I can tell you that much. I'm up in the game, but I don't know how much. But I will let you know as soon as the session ends. Okay? Anyway, let's finish up. I think there might be half an hour to an hour left on the stream. Let's finish strong.
share.
Hello
If not,
again, everyone.
You can share.
So, good game.
Good game. Yeah, good game for when I picked up hands.
Yes.
And when I stopped acting like a jackass.
Isn't that most games though? Like
Some
win a
games you
couple
can get
hands.
away with acting like a jackass, like the jackass equity that you built up to get paid off. Like when you actually have a hand
on down
becomes
a little
higher.
bit more.
In this hand, it doesn't really matter. Like everybody just has like a ton of jackass equity to start out with, and so you trying to build up more is completely unnecessary.
That might be the only equity at the table, actually.
yeah. There was some shenanigans definitely going on. There was a couple times that I thought, man, I should be pulling the trigger here, and just didn't for whatever reason. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with my play. And just to quickly answer, DTrain67 on the Twitch side and Sam M on the YouTube side that are asking what about the Bieber gear. This is Bieber gear. Believe it or not.
You're just too deep.
This is.
Did you just say believe it or not? Did you just say believe it or not?
Believe it or not. Yeah, let him come in here and say, I just want to come in. No. You guys can talk.
All of us can get
I
in.
can't.
Come on.
I can't.
I'm leaving. So
Yeah, I can't be in the same room with this guy. Like
Just
he's
make it quick.
I can't be in. I gotta get out of here.
Trying to bluff me, trying to call me down line.
Oh no, he wasn't trying.
No, he tried once.
Yeah, I tried one.
We're not saying he was successful.
He just didn't play very well against me. What's going on, guys? That was right after I got kind of sucked out with sucked out with aces.
That's right.
Yeah.
Or you chopped that one, didn't you?
Yeah, we chopped it.
Yeah.
We ran it twice.
At the start of that hand, I was like, I'm cheering for these aces to hold up just because I know you've been having a tough run lately, and so have I, and it's like hands like that just keep getting...
It kind of sucks. I mean, if you watch the cards I've been getting, I think I was the tightest person at the table for the last 2 hours of the night. I just never got anything to play, really. It was...
Well, and we've had this conversation. It sucks when you're card dead in these really action games. You know, it's like really all you have is the best seat in the house because, again, there's not a lot of places that you can really bluff. You know, it's really about just make a hand and get paid.
That's it. You know, I think, out of all the people that were playing, I think Ben, myself, Jaman, and Eli a little bit were just playing for value. I mean, we weren't trying to run any big bluffs. Jaman tried a few small bluffs here and there. I tried a few small ones, but like when it came to, when we put the big money in, we almost always had it, I would say.
Right.
Where these guys are,
I feel like that's a good way to go at these games where...
Well, of course, yeah, it's the whole thing. If they're playing loose, you play tight, and they're playing tight, you play loose. So.
Yep.
I love this what Jaman did here, by the way.
Ace King versus Aces.
Ben's obviously, they played together quite a bit, and Ben's super tight. He's the tightest guy at the table.
Yeah.
Ben opened up for 45, and Jaman just called and folded Ace King. Just flatted and folded. Because he knows how Ben is.
Yep.
So I was right. Shortly after filming that last little mid-session, end-of-session wrap-up thing, game broke. Stream ended, game broke, and I did quite well. Quite well for 4 hours, a 4-hour stream. So in the game for $19.50, if I remember correctly, and out for $5,046. So good night, good stream, awesome place, great people. And this is why I love Stones. And this is why we'll continue to love Stones. But with that, it's late. Because I'm still on Central Time, and this ain't Central Time. So, like always, if you like the vlogs, hit that subscribe button, leave me a comment, hit the little like, thumbs up thing, and I'll probably respond to the comment, not the like. And I will catch you next time. Bye.
What we doing after this? Let's go for it. Let's go tear the city up. Okay.
Tomorrow is going to be, I believe it's a cash game again, actually. I don't know what the specifics are, though. Amazing action, no matter what, though.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Big stacks, big pots, questionable hand selection.
Questionable hand selection,
Yes.
always.
Everybody, thank you very much. I am Chris Glasgow.
I'm Vanessa Cade. Thank you so much for being here. Hope to see you guys come down to Stones if you are ever in the area.
All right. Everybody, thank you very much. Good night.
Have a great night, guys. Bye.
Sweet.
Coming soon on YouTube's The Drawing Dead. It's late. Thursday night, I'm at Stone's. Just got off a fantastic live stream with Vanessa Cade, and I've decided to jump into some poker action. Did I follow Obama back, though? I don't...
Oh my god.
Reunited and it feels so good.
I'd love to finish this, Anyway, let's finish this thing up. I think we may... Until then... We're here, back at Stone's. We're back at it again in Sacramento, playing on the Stones live stream. Most of the Stones regulars are in the house, and I know I have Chris. We have most of the Stones regulars in the house. Most of the Stones regulars. Anyway, let's finish this thing up. I think I might have an hour or an hour. Anyway, let's finish this thing up.
Oh, it's a sweatshirt that Bieber has worn. Okay. Yeah, they were saying that he's really into Bieber, or he was saying even he's really into Bieber, and usually he wears like Bieber sweatshirts and stuff like that.
He definitely has the Bieber fever. And I don't think you could take penicillin for that.
Ernie? Yeah, Ernie, I got your text. He told me to quit giving Moneymaker money.
Oh, yeah.
Because I gave him some money with like the 6-3. I think I had like the 6-3 of hearts where I just put him on absolute nothing, and I was wrong.
Yeah, sometimes it goes that way.
Yeah. And it was like we had just got done saying like, this isn't the table where you just kind of squeeze because people don't fold, and then you're like, 6-3 diamonds? Here we go.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't. I'm not going to be able to get through with my hijinks. My hijinks aren't going to work.
Yeah.
There's no hijinks in this game.
All right, go in on the money.
Go in it.
I would love to tell you how many chips I have in front of me at this point, but honestly, I don't know. I know that I'm up. And I know during the live stream they flash it on the screen, so you probably know better than I know at this point. I'm hosting a PKC 888 Crazy 8s giveaway free roll on Tuesday, June 25th in Las Vegas. 17 people will be selected in a mega satellite giving away 4 seats to the 888 Crazy 8s bracelet event. All you have to do to register is open an account on PKC, and you can find those instructions in my last vlog video description, in this video description, or you can contact me on Telegram at The Drawing Dead. So you register, you send an email to pkcpromos@gmail.com with your name, your ID, and your screen name, and that's it. Open to North American residents only, and you must be in Vegas for the free roll in order to play. Well, duh. If you already have an account with PKC, all you have to do is email them your screen name, your ID, and your real name. That's it. If you're not sure where PKC is, it is a mobile gaming app. You can play poker on it for currency. not just for play money. And all that information will be in the video description below this.